is Dr. Udatta Kher from Mumbai. I am a practicing oral surgeon with special emphasis on implantology. I've been practicing in Mumbai for the last 25 years. I devote most of my time into clinical practice with special attention in implant dentistry and restorative dentistry. Apart from that, I also have an academy called Impart Education, where we train clinicians in the field of dental implants and full mouth rehabilitation. My main focus for this presentation today will be on a slightly complex procedure known as the wrist split procedure. This particular technique has been modified with the advent of the osteodensification principles and the use of Densar drills. So we will see how the use of Densar drills along with a piezosurgical device has been used in this particular video. This is the preoperative radiograph. As you can appreciate, the buccolingual width is limited. We just have about 3.5 millimeters of width. No issue with the height. There is adequate amount of height for implant placements. The restorative plan over here is to have 2 implants and then have fixed restoration over the 2 implants. We start the procedure by making a crestal incision followed by a full thickness mucoperiosteal flap. No releasing incision was made. After the reflection of the flap and exposure of the buccal surface of the bone, we use a piezosurgical device with the saw tip to initiate the osteotomy. As you see, the cut that has been made is on the crest of the bone using the saw tip under copious amount of irrigation. The saw tip is very carefully advanced to a depth of 7 millimeters. Care should be taken to go along the long axis of the bone. After the horizontal cut has been made, we now start with the implant site preparation using the Densar drills. This is the pilot drill, the Densar pilot drill. This is used in a clockwise direction. We go into a depth of about 11 millimeters. The 2 sites are chosen. The next drill that we use over here is a 2 millimeter diameter drill, going down to the depth of 11 millimeters. Now this particular drill is used in a counterclockwise direction. The advantage of using this drill is that the bone within the osteotomy is preserved and no amount of bone is extracted out. So whatever bone that gets generated within the osteotomy is helping in densifying the bone surrounding that osteotomy. Same drill being used now on the mesial side. Again, important consideration is to go in very gradually, very slowly, using pumping motion and a copious amount of irrigation. The next diameter drill now that's being used is the 2.3 diameter drill, again in a counterclockwise direction. We now proceed with the 3 millimeter diameter drills. The plan is to place two implants which will be 3.8 millimeters in diameter and 10.5 millimeters in length. So keeping that in mind, we prepare the osteotomies slightly more than 10.5. So you go to a depth of about 11 millimeters. So what these drills are also doing as the site is being prepared is creating an expansion of the ridge. And as the ridge expands, it will allow the implant placement to happen quite smoothly without any stresses on the buccal or lingual cortical bone. That is the 3.3 diameter drill. The osteotomy sites have been prepared. We use this guide to verify the depth of preparation. And now we place the two implants. This is the distal implant, which is 3.8 millimeters diameter and 10.5 millimeters length. This is a tapered body implant from BioHorizons. The second implant in the mesial side. The implant being placed under a controlled torque of 35 Newton centimeters. So good primary stability was achieved. The implants have been kept about half a millimeter subcrestal. The cover screws are now placed over the two implants. Now that the implants are in its final position, the next step is to prepare a veneer graft over the buccal surface so as to reinforce the thinned out buccal plate. Some decortication is initially done again using the piezo surgical tip. A periosteal release incision is being made on the underside of the flap so as to mobilize it and achieve good tension-free closure. The site is now being prepared for a guided bone regeneration procedure. So for that, a collagen membrane is first positioned. And the collagen membrane is held close to the buccal flap. And now a bone substitute material, in this case it is a xenograft. So the xenograft material is being placed over the bone in small increments. A small increment of the material is also placed into the gap between the buccal and lingual cortical plates. The membrane is now adapted over the bone graft material and over the implants and tucked into the lingual pouch area below the lingual flap. Good tension-free sutures are given to close the flap and achieve a good primary closure. The suture material used here is a PTFE material. The first incision is a horizontal mattress incision. After the horizontal mattress incisions, a few simple interrupted sutures are given in between the horizontal mattress sutures. And this is the post-operative X-ray of the two implants in its final position.